Folks, we've got breaking news for you, and it's a big one. The MeidasTouch network can now project that the yes vote will win Virginia's redistricting referendum, handing Democrats a major victory with huge national implications. This constitutional amendment allows Democrats to immediately redraw congressional maps in Virginia ahead of the midterms, potentially shifting the state from a 6-5 Democrat-Republican congressional makeup to as many as a 10-1. 10 Democrats, 1 Republican. That's what's expected after the midterms as a result of this redistricting. That would be a net gain of 4 seats for Democrats that could help decide control of Congress. Zachary Danini from Vote Hub explains the yes vote is on track to win by roughly 4 to 4.5 percentage points tonight, accounting for provisional and late arriving mail ballots, which are expected to modestly favor yes. The final margin is likely to increase by approximately 0.4 points after election night. So everybody remembers when Donald Trump started the plan of redistricting in Texas because Trump wanted to steal the midterms. Remember the headlines. White House pushes Texas to redistrict, hoping to blunt Democratic gains. A rare mid-decade redistricting push has unnerved some Texas Republicans who worry a drive to harm Democrats could end up endangering the GOP incumbents in 2026. That's exactly what happened. And as our editor-in-chief Ron Filipkowski writes, Virginia redistricting passes, which should add 4 Democratic seats. Trump started the mid-decade redistricting effort by pushing Texas to do this in June 2025, when many Republicans felt it could backfire on them. It has backfired, and it started with California Governor Gavin Newsom's Prop 50 standing up and doing the redistricting in California, which overwhelmingly passed in California to fight back and neutralize what was happening in Texas. And then we saw Democrats finally fight fire with fire, and they demonstrated when they do that, they can win. As Adam Carlson says, stick a fork in it. Virginia has voted to redraw its congressional district map through 2030, and Democrats will now likely flip 4 seats in November. Virginia 1, Virginia 2, Virginia 5, and Virginia 6, which each went +7, +5, +9, and +3 respectively for former Vice President Kamala Harris. Those seats now will almost certainly turn blue for their congressional districts, as Democrats are now significantly overperforming former Vice President Kamala Harris. As Adam Carlson also explains, to my eye, Democrats have definitively taken the lead in the mid-decade redistricting battle for this cycle. Democrats will likely gain 8 to 10 seats, while Republicans will likely only gain 4 to 8 seats, and it seems likely an awfully big risk for Florida to further redraw its maps, given the massive swings we're seeing in special elections, where Democrats are overperforming Kamala Harris in the range of 10 to 16, and in some cases, 20 to 25 points, depending on the special elections. You see, when you do some of this redistricting, you have to dilute some of your other districts that you may view as safe districts to try to push, if you were doing this in Florida, Republican voters into Democratic districts to try to make a district a Republican district. But in bringing down some of that Republican vote from safer red districts, you know, if it's a +12, +14 red district and you bring it down to a +8 to try to transfer some of those voters to a otherwise Democratic congressional district, Democrats may now win in both of those districts or all of those districts, because that's what we've been seeing in the special election. Now, Donald Trump was absolutely terrified of this result. He went on various right-wing podcasts before this yes vote was officially won by the Democrats, or the yes vote won. And this is what he said. He said that he's terrified that if Democrats get these additional seats, they'll change everything at a federal level. And Trump is terrified that he is going to be impeached. Here, play this clip.
This is what they're going to be doing with this referendum. If the Democrats, look, if they get additional House seats, at some point, if they get these additional seats, they're going to be making changes at the federal level.
Now, we're also hearing from people like Laura Loomer, MAGA extremist, and she's saying that this was Obama's plan, basically to try to remove Donald Trump. Let me share with you the moment when Fox called this vote in favor of yes. Here's the moment it went down on Fox. Let's play it.
Fox News alert. According to the AP, voters in Virginia have approved Democrats' plan to gerrymander congressional districts 50 to 49. This could flip 4 House seats from Republican control to Democrats.
Now, let me share with you this right-wing podcast, the John Frederick Show. Had about 32 individuals watching it, but Frederick's show was the one that Donald Trump was on yesterday, where Trump was trying to push people to vote no against this referendum. Watch as they struggle to cope with the fact that the yes vote won. And they're like, well, maybe the Supreme Court will save us. Maybe the Supreme Court will save us. Here, let's play this clip right here.
And it looks like obviously they're doing it tonight.
Yeah, they have. It just got called by the New York Times.
It just did get called. You're right. So now it's up to the Supreme Court. If they don't act or they don't overturn this, then the Democrats potentially pick up 4 additional seats in Congress. And I know I jokingly, but not so much, talked about Florida earlier. I think that would ramp up efforts in Florida. And Florida has 8 Democrats. So maybe they go a 27-1 district.
You don't want it shouldn't be done anywhere. We shouldn't have this conversation.
Now, MAGA sent some of their top influencers, some of the biggest people in the MAGA movement, to try to get the no vote to win. One of the MAGA top influencers, someone by the name of Scott Pressler, who's Donald Trump's superstar. Donald Trump loves this guy. And then in Roanoke, Virginia, here was Scott Pressler going around. He just visited elementary school. Scott Pressler.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. I'm here in Roanoke, Virginia at Mount Pleasant Elementary School. And you're probably wondering, Scott, why are you in Roanoke? Well, this is a big President Trump area. This is a conservative area, and we need big, beautiful turnout. And so I'll be here in southern, south central Virginia for a few more hours and then traversing north. But I'm hearing there is depressed northern Virginia turnout. So if you have yet to vote, or if you have already voted, I want you to reach out to everyone you know, visit your polling location by 7 p.m., get in line, stay in line. This is our opportunity. We are fighting for fairness, we are fighting for equal representation, and we are fighting to save the Commonwealth of Virginia. I ask kindly for your vote.
And here he is basically saying to voters, if you're out there, vote no. But even Donald Trump's number one recruiter, even Donald Trump's number one guy, Scott Pressler, couldn't get out the vote for no. Here's what he had to say. And then shortly thereafter, the no vote lost and the yes vote won. Let's play this clip.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. Tomorrow's the big day. Please, I need you to talk to everyone you know in Virginia. Get them to vote no to the unconstitutional gerrymandering scam. Vote no.
Now, you may recall that I interviewed the Speaker of the House of Delegates, the top Democrat, the top individual, the top ranking individual in the House of Delegates. It's like their House of Representatives in Virginia. Remember, I spoke to him back in December of 2025. He and I were talking about this precise result back in December of 2025. Here, play this clip.
So we need to be very clear and concise and make sure it's community-based with some input to be able to get those maps drawn. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to get to a 10-1 map in light of the shellacking that we just put on the Republicans in Virginia this last cycle. Abigail Spanberger won by 15 points. We went from a 51-49 majority in the House of Delegates to a 64-36 majority in the House of Delegates. So I think we have a responsibility to speak up for our voters and protect Virginians from being disenfranchised.
And then Senator Pro Temp Lucas, she's been a pioneer of this 10-to-1 redistricting map, along with Speaker Scott. This is what they had to say previously when they announced for officially that a redistricting agreement was made, which enabled this vote to take place. Here's what they previously said when they came up with that 10-1 map. Again, Virginia Democrats fighting back. Let's play this clip.
Give me more seats. Then that's not enough. So he calls North Carolina, Missouri, Ohio. I need more. I need more. Today we are leveling the playing field. These are not ordinary times, and Virginia will not sit on the sidelines while it happens. We made a promise to level the playing field, and today we're keeping our promise. Our maps are ready. Virginia's ready. We said 10-1, and we meant it. And we are proud to deliver a map that stands up for democracy, to stand up Virginians, to stand up and give us a voice. He started this mess, and Virginia's going to finish it.
Virginia to the rescue. Senator Lucas said it best. We've been working really hard to make sure that we got this delivered. This is about leveling the playing field across the country. Republicans are gerrymandering maps to override the will of the voters. We just saw it in Texas, North Carolina, and Missouri. At Donald Trump's direction, they're manipulating election maps because they know they can't win on their agenda in 2026. So instead of changing their ideas, they're trying to rig the system. A 10-1 map levels the playing field, and we're ready to move forward. Today, we're making good on our promise by releasing the maps publicly. We're going to get them released either by the end of the day or early tomorrow. We'll get those maps released. And putting them out in the open and allowing them to be debated the way they should be in a democracy, we're going to leave it up to Virginia voters. The maps are ready. Virginia's ready. And that's my senator said it many times. 10-1. 10-1. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Before 5 o'clock.
And then you had Barack Obama really leading the charge on this yes vote. Here's what Obama had to say. Let's play this clip.
Hey, Virginia. Early voting is underway, and Virginians are turning out in record numbers to vote yes. By voting yes, you have a chance to do something important, not just for the Commonwealth, but for our entire country. By voting yes, you can push back against the Republicans trying to give themselves an unfair advantage in the midterms. By voting yes, you can take a temporary step to level the playing field. And we're counting on you. Early voting is happening right now. Election Day is on April 21st. So go to iwillvote.com/VA to find your closest polling location. Make a plan, show up, and vote yes, Virginia.
And I want to give a shout out to California Governor Gavin Newsom, who pioneering Prop 50, I think really inspired the nation, inspired pro-democracy people throughout the country. Remember when Gavin Newsom said the following. Let's play this clip about Prop 50. And when Prop 50 passed, that was one of the biggest moments where Democrats were like, yes, we can fight back. Here's what Newsom had to say. Play this clip.
That's happening today in the United States of America, today in the United States of America, in our state, in the state of California, in Illinois, in places like Oregon. Today, the military are on American soil, American cities, not overseas. We had 700 active duty Marines sent to the second largest city in the United States of America. We saw 4,000 National Guard federalized here in the state of California. So our state of mind is pretty crystal clear of why we are here. The essence of this moment, what Proposition 50 represents to those that have been bullied, to those that have been demeaned, to those that feel powerless, to those that are concerned about not only themselves, but each other, our community, this city, our state, our nation, and for that matter, what we represent to the rest of the world. That's what Prop 50 represents. The ability not just to be against all of that, but to assert ourselves and affirm the best of who we are. 249 years, the best of Roman Republic, Greek democracy, separation of the branches of government, co-equal branches of government, checks and balances, popular sovereignty, the rule of law, those enduring principles that our founding fathers lived and died for, all of them on the line today. And so I want to thank you. This is a long-winded way of wrapping up. I want to thank you for standing on this line at this moment. Prop 50 is not about drawing lines on a map. It is about holding the line to what makes us who we are.
And, we were hearing from voters throughout the day about, their vote yes. Here's what one voter had to say. Let's play it.
We vote yes so we can keep the balance of power because of what Texas is doing. They're redistricting so they can have more pro-Trump seats. And I don't necessarily want an anti-Trump seat, but I want someone who's going to balance it out.
So you may be asking, well, Ben, what's Donald Trump doing right now? He's currently in the Oval Office, I kid you not, reading Bible verses. He's reading Bible verses from the Oval Office and streaming it right now. I'll just show you a short clip. Let's play it.
There shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up from the roots out of my land, which I have given them, and this house, which I have sanctified for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among nations. And this house, which is high.
There you have it, folks. Democrats with a big win in Virginia. But set aside Democrats, pro-democracy with a big win. Not just stopping Donald Trump's redistricting plan, but taking command, fighting fire with fire, finally. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.